Hello everyone, this is Planckera, and welcome to my universe. So, today, I think it's time to finally finish up the front view here. And, oh man, my headphone cord is curled in an awkward way. Give me a moment. There we go. I always like to put it underneath my tablet when I get started, because then it's not flopping everywhere and getting in the way of my pen. But yes. Hopefully I can finish up everything here today on the front end. I only have a few things left. First thing is that I noticed all my cute little curls here were of various different sizes, and I didn't like it. So I wanted to go and make their sizing a little bit more consistent before I merged them all together. Which means I have to find which one is which, because past me decided that since this was just a quick tool to kind of help me out, that I did not need to name my layers. Strictly speaking, I think I am like mostly correct there, but man, it is still perhaps slightly inconvenient. Anyway, right here I'm trying to decide which one is supposed to go in front, and I decided I wanted it to be kind of like this, I guess. It's all kind of arbitrary, it's fine. I'm gonna merge all of these down together in a little bit anyway, but there are just a few things I wasn't quite happy with here. Okay, so that was the first thing, of just, I didn't quite like how the ones in the middle were overlapping. So now the second thing is that if you look at a lot of these curls here, like the ones over here are quite large, and over here they're quite small. I want them to be a little bit more consistent all the way across. So I'm just gonna go to each one and make it a little bigger, I guess. Which is probably gonna cause some issues. Almost certainly, actually, but whatever. I can deal with it. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and I just do not like how much smaller the ones over there are. Okay, I think that's a little bit more consistent. So I'll just clean up what I can, and I'm just gonna have to redo some things. This is one of those where we say, it is what it is, and we do our best. And now the perspective here is kind of wonky. I might... Let me see. Is there a good way I can fix that? I like squish you a little bit more to make it look more like it's pointing toward the viewer. I sure can. Most excellent. Okay, well that made it a lot easier than I was fearing. So, there we go. Hooray for transform tools. I think I want to do it a little bit with you, too. Okay. So that's all a little messy. I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. I don't know, do I want these reversed? I just feel like there should be like one more right there. So you know what? I'ma draw it. I'ma draw that one more that I think should be there. Okay, so there's like thing here, and it'll point like directly at the viewer. So I think this is going to be like this kind of shape. Look, if something is driving you a little crazy while you're drawing, there's probably a reason. I actually find that's especially the case for me. I was talking with my husband about art-related things. Not just drawing, but also just creative pursuits in general. In our case, it was actually mostly more about writing than it was drawing. And I am just a highly intuitive creator. I feel it in my bones, and then I try to make it. And that's the best way I can put it. So here, it's like I could tell something was wrong. Took me a second to pin down exactly what it was, but I knew that there was something that had to change here. And it's not always something in a way I can describe. If you ever wonder why I have so much trouble describing what I'm talking about, it's because I don't always know. It is in my heart, not my brain. And the heart is unfortunately rather stupid. Brain kind of is too, but you know. It's more capable of thinking and putting stuff into language than the heart is. Okay, and I think that's probably about all I need there. So I guess I'll just go ahead and color it now, and I will adjust everything around it accordingly. Because, yeah, that already looks better. So I'm pleased. Okay. I just gotta find the parts I need to hack apart a little bit in order to make this look right now. Okay, and this one I already adjusted the size of to my liking, so I'm gonna go ahead and smooth them out. This is probably a bad idea. I really probably should leave all the smoothing until I get everything else sized correctly, but, well, I'm already almost done with it in the length of time that it took me to say that, so I guess I'll just finish it. It's fine. Okay. There we go, and then I just, I don't know. I'll go and plop some stuff down. It should look pretty good, in theory. I'll do the same with over there, but now I'm gonna take my own advice and actually get my sizing correct before I start doing any more smoothing. Just in case I need to change things again. I get the feeling that a lot of things are gonna break here. But it's just one of those things. If you get into art, any kind of art, you just kind of have to accept that you're going to suffer for your art sometimes. It's just how it works. It's okay. Nope. You are going to die. Okay. Killed that one. Because now that they're a little bigger, I don't need that one. I just need this one. This one is showing that little transition going all the way around there, so this is perfect. And I'll just have to recolor a bunch of them. Like I said, it's fine. I say. Nervously. As though everything is maybe slightly on fire. But no, I genuinely think it'll be fine. Hello there, Karovet. Welcome. Okay, and now all of these are closer to roughly the same size. I think I still have a couple in the back over here that I need to adjust. But they're like all the way down here, so that's why I was saving it for the end. Okay, and then there's like one on that side too, right? Oh no, I have like two on this side. Why is there something over there on this layer? Whatever. I don't really feel like cleaning it up, it's fine. Alrighty. And then this guy that just kind of needs to sit over here and kind of finish things off. And that is so much better. No, just shoes. No paws. I guess they're meant to look a little bit like paws because, you know, Kyubey has paws, so. Yes. Yes, shoe paws. Okay, let's see here. This one I think is still a little bit small, so I'm gonna make it just a little bit bigger, and we'll just finagle things into place here. And I see that I had part of this in shadow here. I need its cute little curl back in there. I think you should also be perspectived a little bit more that way. Yes. Okay, and there we go. Now it's a little bit more of a circle. I think the ones on this side need to be a little bit higher, so I'll have to go find them. Yes. Just shoes. The odds of me drawing any paws whatsoever are pretty much close to 0. I am not a fan of anthropomorphic aesthetics. Just personal taste. What the heck are you? Why do I have a bright yellow dot in the middle of all this? A lot. This area I separated out. I'm gonna merge them all together at some point, but I was having a ton of trouble drawing this part, so I just put each little piece on its own layer so I can move it around. And now there's a shenanigan. I need to find that because I don't want that bright yellow spot to be there. Okay. Fortunately, I found it quickly. Alrighty. So I didn't have to go hunting. That is nice. Alright. Let's see, and then there's that guy in the back. I think I have him sticking out a little bit too far. So this little dude right here, he needs to come back in a little. It is. They're just... Sometimes I just, like, tap the canvas somewhere when I'm doing something, and suddenly there's pixel dirt everywhere. I am not always super neat. So I gotta watch the pixel dirt sometimes. Okay, let's get this around here. I just feel like some of these are a little bit low there. Just because the angle of her feet is going to be pushing this bottom piece upward a little. So I kind of want to keep that perspective there, and I still think they're a little bit low. So let's just grab all of them. You're good. And like I said, past me thought it was a good idea to not name any of these since I was going to be merging them all together anyway. So I am kind of having to flail my way through and find where I put some of these layers. Oh, I have an extra one being grabbed somewhere in here. You. Do not want to grab you. Okay, but there we go. Now it's angled a little bit more correctly here. I just want to make sure it looks like it's wrapping around her legs. And her legs have an angle to them, so the bottom of the skirt here needs that angle too. There we go. Now it's kind of looping up. Okay. I am still looking forward to the day that I can merge all these together because it is such a pain having them all separated. But currently I kind of need them all that way because this is a really complicated pattern and I don't want to attempt to draw it all on one layer. I would rather keep my life a little bit easier today. Today we say no to making my life hard. I don't know, I feel like folders work for like 90% of what I want them to do. It just here, it's a little bit hard because I do have a layer that I don't want grouped with everything else in between here, so just this guy. So he's kind of sitting there in the middle and I can't leave him out. I guess that's the one thing that'd be nice for folders to be able to do. Okay. Let me just zoom out one more time, make sure I really like this. Because once I start drawing again, I kind of don't want to stop and have to finagle all of this again. I just want to be done with it. Admittedly, I'm not looking forward to drawing this on the backside either. I was just saying, sometimes you suffer for your art, that's fine. Okay, and then there's like a guy up here. Where are you? Where the heck did I put that? Oh, it's not you. And then I'm going over to the other side, so it's probably, yeah, right there. You need to be lower. This is why I wanted to check it one more time. Some of these guys need to be a little bit lower. Let me see if I can get them on in there. Okay. How are we doing now? Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, so now I just gotta actually go through and make everything pretty again. Shouldn't be too hard, because I already think that things look pretty alright here. And I will probably be hiding layers left and right here. Just so I can kind of isolate what I need to draw. And then at the end, I'm going to be merging a bunch of this together. And then I'll probably touch it all up, because there are certain parts that would be really annoying to touch up when they're all separated like this. Okay, that should be good. Fortunately, I cleaned all this up pretty thoroughly last time I worked on this. So the main thing I need to clean up here is just... I need to get the parts that are a little bit blurry from having the transform tool mess with them. A little bit less blurry. That's just the main thing. Okay. And then, of course, there are some areas that need to be in shadow here. Actually, I think you could use a little bit of shadow on the bottom. I think that'll make the curve a little bit more convincing. Yes, that is nice. That is very nice. And I'll worry about the stuff back there later. Right now, I'm just kind of focused on the big curly part here. So I think that's the part that really matters. Everything else is all just kind of a soup, and that's okay. This is meant to be a character design sheet, and the only reason I'm doing any shading at all is just because I don't use lines. So I can't just use big old blocks of color for this. Everything would kind of get all mixed together, and it would lack any kind of clarity. And if I shade a couple of things, I think it looks weird if I don't shade the whole thing, so here we are. The only reason things are being shaded is because of my personal neuroticism. So that's why I'm not worried about it too much. Just want to make sure that I have enough to convey the ideas here, and I do think that this conveys what I want for the dress perfectly. So I don't think it needs a ton of details or anything. It's fine. I think it looks really good. Okay. That is a nice curl. So that is good. And then I'll just get the little bits of shading here on. So this way it'll curl the way I want it to and separate from the curl next to it. All right. It is. It's okay, you get used to it. I feel like that's true with many a thing. Just keep trying and you'll get used to it. It's like I make fun of brains a lot. But that is one thing that they are good at. They can get used to it. They really can. Okay, I'm just hiding a bunch of layers here, so this way I can actually see what I'm doing a little. Because there were some spots that just kind of melded together here. But there we go, I think it's all free now. I do love these little curls. I think they are so cute. I think they work extremely well for what I'm trying to do here. It took me a little while to figure out what to do with the bottom of her dress here, because I didn't really think frills worked here. So I had to figure out something else, and eventually I don't know, came up with this pattern, and I like it. I think it's working pretty well. And this little guy here is interesting. I'm actually not sure if that mid-tone there that I was using is necessary, so let me see what it looks like without it. Oh, extreme lighting is fun. I hope you're able to figure that out, because man, when you pull it off, it's quite fun. And I don't know if you're looking for any kind of art advice or anything, but I will say that when it comes to anime, you can pretty much do what you want. I tend to prefer to think of my lighting more as sculpting. So I'm deliberately just trying to create particular shapes, as opposed to, I don't know, whatever happens in real life. Real life is boring, so I only kind of care what happens insofar as I want the things I'm drawing to look like the things I'm trying to draw, right? Like if I draw a face, I want it to be recognizable as a human face. But otherwise, you can kind of do what you want, and I have found that the more I just do what I want and kind of forget about how things look in real life, the better things go. So I've been paying more attention to, like, deliberately sculpting my shading and making interesting shapes with the shading rather than focusing on what is actually realistic. So anime can totally survive on the rule of cool. So as long as it looks good, it's fine. Yes, B shapes. It really just comes down to how realistic you're trying to be. Like, I mean, if you are going for more semi-realism, then yeah, you gotta care a little bit more. And I mean, I still do semi-realism sometimes. And I still remember when I was drawing Yuyuko on stream. That was a little while ago. I had been kind of struggling with hair for a bit, and when I initially drew her hair, I was like, man, I just really don't like this. So I tried something. I said, okay, I'm going to ignore what hair does in real life, and I'm just going to try to sculpt this into a bunch of hair-like shapes that look cool. And I did, and it looked cool. It looked so much better than when I was trying to actually think about how hair would blow in this situation. I just made it fly everywhere, and it was fantastic, so there you go. I have mixed feelings about it. But I got to admit, just kind of doing whatever I want is making me warm up the hair a little bit more. So that kind of thing is helping. Hello there, Pastels. I'm never quite sure how to feel about that statement about, you know, there being no rules in art. Because, I mean, I would say that there's no hard and fast rules or anything, but, like, there are things you can think about that will help you. And it can be taught. So it's clear that there are things out there that make certain things more effective, let's say. But at the same time, it's like, if you try to make a hard and fast rule, I can probably think of at least 3 artists off the top of my head that break that rule. So, there you go. But yeah, I mean, with anime especially, you can do what you want. Just be as cool as possible. Or failing that, as cute as possible. Depending on what you're going for. Oh, thank you. Right now, I just got the urge to do a character design, so I'm turning Kyubey from Madoka Magica into a magical girl. Zoom out. This is... I have the design pretty much done, assuming my panning works. There we go. But yeah, the design's pretty much done, so I'm just kind of cleaning everything up, and then I'm gonna do the backside. And after that, I'll separate out some of the various accessories and stuff and draw close-ups of them, and then it's just a matter of making the sheet look nice, because I want it to look nice for Twitter. I gotta do a bunch of unnecessary things because I want it to look nice for Twitter. Oh, thank you. They're fairly simple. I'm always curious on how cosplayers make these things. So I wouldn't imagine that they'd be especially hard to make. Alright, before I start merging these, I want to go ahead and, where am I? There you are. I want to go ahead and smooth out these last few things here, and then I want to do the part down here and make this less soupy and ambiguous. Well, thank you very much. I have been working hard on it. And I do enjoy character designs. They are quite fun. Anyway, time to make this less soupy. So I'm gonna start by kinda getting the backside of these curls in. And at this point, I already know that I'm going to be merging all the layers together. So I'm not especially concerned about keeping my layers separated right now. It's all good. Alright, let's get some of these lines in the correct place now. Okay, so the line caused by you. You're like... Let me follow this curve. It's going out like this and probably like through here. So I think that's where that curve is. Then there's some shenanigans with the layers above, which is expected at this point. Gonna try to clean some of that up so this way it's easier to follow. I don't know, I like doing sheets. I think they're pretty fun. What do I have? There we go. Okay, so now this one is gonna curl. Yeah, this one's still behind there, so that's fine. This one curls out like this. And then you're gonna join the fray out like here somewhere. I think that follows the curve fine. Oh, thank you. Welcome. Yeah, feel free to stop by whenever you have time. I draw things most days. There's 2 days a week that I play some video games instead. But for the most part, it is all drawing all the time. I just finished a stream drawing recently, so I'll be starting a new one tomorrow. And I decided I'm going to do an actual photo study, because it has been a while since I've done one, and I've been trying to work on, like, proportions and stuff again. Like, sometimes you gotta go back and revisit the fundamentals. Okay, and I think you curl like this. So you're gonna be showing up over here. Doing something like this, I think. God, I can't wait to merge all these layers together. They're so unwieldy. That's okay. I needed them. It was a lot easier to do it like this rather than try it on one. Okay. I don't quite like how these are tapering off at the end, so let's make that a little bit nicer. Over here, too. Please taper more nicely. There we go. Okay, now then... Which one's next? Over there? Okay, I don't quite like how you're tapering off either, but I'm not sure if it's your fault. Can I even fix that on this layer? I can't. Yeah, because the problem's over on this layer. Okay, there we go. Okay. All better. And incidentally, this is why it's important to name your layers, so that this way you're not doing silly things like this all the time. Okay. And having to hide and show the layers again. Because I keep losing track of them, but like, man, what would I even name these layers if I attempted to name them? I'm planning on merging them all together at the end. That's why I didn't worry about it. But man, is it annoying to have to sift through them sometimes. Okay, what are you? That is you. How do you curl? You're kinda doing this thing. Okay. I'm gonna lock you for a second. Alright, none of that is your fault. So this one is curling up kinda like this. No worries. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a nice lunch. I'm just gonna erase a bunch of that. Alright. By the way, I basically have no idea what is on what layer half the time right now. Because all of these are kind of just a mushy soup. I tend to be a little bit more deliberate about my layers to avoid stuff like this, but it just wasn't really happening this time. Sometimes that happens, it's okay. Layer soup. It is disgusting. I don't recommend it. Soup needs meat, not layers. Okay. There we go, got that curve fixed, and I think this looks okay now. I will go ahead and fix the tip there, though. The rest looks fine. And now everything here is, yeah. Yeah. It's okay, that's why I'm here. I'm here to clean up everything. This is one of those places where I'm not really caring if it's realistic or not. I'm just making the lines look nice. Doing what makes all these lovely little shapes look their best. I think what I want to fix here is right there. Sure is. Excellent. It's okay, I'm almost free. These curves are looking great, so almost free. And some things here, like you can see where each strand here starts and finishes, somewhat ambiguous. I could make it more clear if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I think it's fine just like this. Because light is interesting. As things go into shadow, they actually do become less clear in real life. And that is one thing that I use in my paintings a lot. So as things go into shadow, they legitimately become less detailed. So I don't mind these merging together somewhat. It makes sense. Okay, let's see, you do kind of go up like that, so I think that this looks fine. I'll go ahead and just keep it like this. Alright, and now we're back to ones that I haven't smoothed out yet. Yeah, I didn't really smooth out you either. I should do that first. Oh, wait, that's what I was working on. Okay. Well, good job, me. Notice what you're trying to do. Okay. This one actually doesn't look that bad. Okay, let's get this all nice and smooth here. Make it nice and round. Very important. Everything must be round. Kyubey is like super squishy. Pure marshmallow. So I still want to give that soft, fluffy, squishy expression. Or the squishy feeling, I guess. Everything must be round and squishy. Yeah, it happens sometimes. Probably happens more on stream than off stream. It's surprisingly hard to talk and draw at the same time. Sometimes even off stream, I just start thinking about something and I kind of go on autopilot and forget what I'm doing, and then I'm just like, wait, why did I shade this like that? Okay. So that part is smooth now, and I think we see a little bit underneath right there. So I'll put that little shape in. Okay, and then you're gonna curve up like this. Yeah, I think I have it about the right spot. It just needs to look better. And then I just need to make it taper nicely. There we go. Okay. So this one looks okay, I think. Yeah, I don't really think I need to change anything about him. I just want to fix his line and give him a little spot where we see what's underneath. Oh, I have the layer locked. That's why I can't draw. There we go. Just give him a little bit of where we see the spot underneath. And then I think you actually curve up a little bit more like this, so we'll go ahead and fill in this part. That's actually a little bit too far to the side. There we go. Get that curving up just right. That is perfect. Just getting the thickness right, and you know, everything over there, ambiguous, yes, intentional, also yes. So I think it's done. Wonderful. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and merge them all together, so I can get rid of this big, nasty layer soup here. We'll see if I regret that, but I don't think I will. Everything good? Yep, all together now. Wonderful. And that is the end of her dress. So, time for the shoes. I think I'm gonna do that before I do all of her stuff behind her. So, a little veil thingy here and her hair. Oh boy. I am terrible at drawing feet. Shoes too. Okay, but you know, I feel like I've done most of the work, at least with this foot. This one doesn't look too bad. This one maybe needs a little bit more work, but this one doesn't look too bad. So I think I can mostly just clean that one up. Okay, I'm gonna hide... I was gonna say I'm gonna hide all the decorations, but no, I don't think I will, actually. I think they're helping me see where some of these shapes should go. Alright. So I'm just gonna go in and finish it off like this. So this is supposed to be like in the center of her leg here. So we actually see more of this one, so I'm not sure why this one's thicker. I probably just drew it really quickly. I wasn't really thinking about it too hard. Okay, I know that there's supposed to be a line around that. I'm gonna get rid of it for now. This part's helping me. That part was making my life hard. Okay, so I want to find the center here. Where is the center? Kind of going up like this. I'd say this is pretty well centered. Let me just adjust the top just a little bit so it's pointing a little bit more toward the middle. There we go. So I'd say that's roughly where the center is. Which would make it, like, right here. Okay. Just gonna measure that out a little bit. Now I get the angle on, like, the ears here. I had no idea what to do with the shoes, so I was just like, let's just give them cat ears. That makes sense in my head. I think they're a little bit long, so I'm gonna shorten them up just a little bit here. Oh yeah, that is much cuter. Okay, I need to draw in where the center is. Let me get my hot pink. Okay, so we have the little slope going up this way. And so I think the center is right about here. Yes. Yes. Make that a little bit less ambiguous, and then it'll go up right about there. Okay. Now I shouldn't get lost while I work on this. I want to make this side a little bit shorter too. And around it goes. And it'll be shorter on the back side because I thought that looked cute. No other reason. And it just loops back here. And I want it to continue to get shorter as it goes around, so I actually want this part to be a little bit taller. I can see it in my head, so that's what matters here. There we go. Now let's get the angle on these little ears, right? Because they should be kind of facing forward. Like, that way. That's the way her foot is going. So, gotta make sure that their angle is good. And that they also look like they're facing forward. That's gonna make this back side a little bit longer than the front side. So the angle on the front side will be steeper. And I think I would actually like it to drop off a little bit instead of being a smooth curve. Yes, like that. Easy peasy. Okay, and now I just got to do the same thing on the other side. Once again, I want it to face forward. That side will be thinner because it is further away from us. This is leaning a little bit too far to the side there. So I'm going to go ahead and sculpt that a little bit better. Okay, and I think that is pretty accurate. And I think, you know what? I want the toes here to be super round. Well, we're just going to go full round here. It's going to go up a little bit. I think that'll help it look a little bit more paw-like. Just hoping it doesn't end up making it look a little bit like clown shoes. that would be perhaps a little bit unfortunate. But no, I think this is fine. Okay. Once again, I think I will hide the decor this time. They do look kind of like rain boots though, and I think that's okay. Have a nice super round toe here. I'm gonna have to go through and totally delete the foot here. You know what? I'm just gonna do that now. Where is your leg here? There we go. Okay, let's get her foot on the ground here. I like having the trim on the side, showing me where the bottom of her foot is. That is very helpful right now. Okay. Is her foot long? I think it's a little long. Yeah, I think it's a little long. No heel here. I don't think it's necessary. Okay, I think that's good. Let me double check Madoka proportions again. I think that's good, but I want to make sure that they don't have like abnormally large feet or something. If they're just as small and squishy as every other part of their body. Yeah, seems fine. Yeah, their feet are pretty tiny. That's maybe a little bit small. I'm gonna take it back just a little bit less there. Especially since there's no heel here. Okay. A little bit more. Just a teeny tiny bit. Okay. Yeah, seems all right. Okay, I will go with this. Now then. Yes. Vaguely cat-like. Let's actually go through and get some of these things roughed in a little bit nicer before I move on. So I'm going to start with the little egg thing. I wanted that to kind of come up here and wrap around her foot like this before coming back in. And then on this side, kind of like that. Kind of like that. This side needs to go out just a little bit more. I think. Let me flip this. Maybe it doesn't. I'm gonna reduce the opacity on my hot pink center line here, just so I can see under it a little bit better and get these angles correct. The angle is very important here. I think that'll be what makes it look like this is wrapping around her foot, as opposed to just kind of awkwardly sitting on top of it. So I'm gonna think about that for a second. Let's see here. Yeah, there's something not right there. I'm gonna try again. Just need it to go the same way this side does. Kind of like this. Yeah, that's better. A little further out at the bottom there, but otherwise good. Okay, I'm gonna hide my line so I can clean things up here. Get it all good. This is the point where I need to get all those details right, so might as well clean up as I go. Okay, and I want the bottom to be nice and thick, because that's how the symbol on Kyubey's back looks. Alright. I'll worry about the yellow a little bit later. Let's go ahead and get these paw-like structures in there. So what I wanted to do is I want like this little piece to come up here. As is common in shoes, and like the center of her foot. I've already established, no, I actually have that going the wrong way. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. It's right about there. So I can do it like this. And later, once I'm sure that this is looking good, I'm gonna draw a little piece of the shoe kind of coming out a little bit further there. But for now, this is all I want to do. And I will worry about grabbing those little details once everything else is closer to done. Okay. Now then. We're gonna have one little paw thingy coming up the middle here. One's gonna be on this side. I think we just barely see it. And then the other one is just gonna be kind of on the other side here. There we go. So now it looks like everything's wrapping around her toes a little bit better. What I had before was just something to help me get my ideas down. You gotta start somewhere. But now I actually want to pay attention to how things are curving around the foot. And all that good stuff. I actually don't think this is quite right. Liquefy, save me. Save me, Liquefy. This means I'm probably gonna have to adjust the center line again, but that's fine. I am perhaps somewhat mid at finding center lines. I'm working on it. Okay, but that looks good. And we'll be able to see it in its full glory over here. And actually, that does mean that my egg shape is a little bit off now. Might be why some parts of this were looking a little bit wrong to me. Okay, there we go, that's better. Okay, I think that level of smoothing is fine. So let's see, I had the round parts at the edge here, so I will go ahead and draw it like that. I don't know, do I want any additional lines or anything? Perhaps. Oh, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. For now, I want to make sure that I have everything just in good spots. Alright, let's go ahead and draw the lines here. Okay, that's a little messy, but I can fix it up at the end here. Go all the way around. And the second pair just to match with everything else on her outfit here. Down and around. Alright. Yeah, I'd say that looks pretty accurate. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and put the shading back on. So, side of her foot is here. It's like this. Up here, we get the front. I'm not worried about the decorations yet. And then I think there's going to be a little fold, like, right here. Kind of at her heel when she walks. This part should be a little bit rounder. That is where the heel actually is. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Seems good. Alright. Before I go in and really clean it all up, I think I want to do her other foot too. And I'm scared. Okay, I'm gonna hide the dress for a second. And this leg here. We're gonna try to match the shoe. Over here now. Please go away, foot. Okay. Alright, so about... Okay, I need the leg again for a second. How high up on the leg does it go? If this is the heel, the ankle's probably about here, so this is gonna be like up on her calf, chin area. But barely, it's not that tall. Alright, got it. So I think, based on how I have this bent, gonna be like here? Yeah, that seems likely. I'm gonna get my hot pink center line again. Okay, so the way I have this one drawn, we've got the center going up like this. There's the toes. Yeah, this one is facing a little bit further forward. And I'm kind of okay with keeping it like that. Which means that we don't see as much of that heel, do we? Okay, I have to think about this for a second, because what I have drawn here right now is physically impossible. But what I have drawn here is closer to what I'd see on the side of the foot. So if I want this to be the middle here, how's her foot twisting? So we have toes, then some part is going to come up, and then it's going to go up into this. So probably something like that. Okay, where's the heel? I'm going to draw it like this. The heel is like right there. Okay, so I'm going to draw it around that. Okay, and I will start cleaning that up a little bit, which means that her toes are gonna be shifted a little further this way. Unfortunately, I have both feet on one layer, so that's a shenanigan, but it's fine. I can make it work. This will be tucked in because this is not the heel. This will come out a little bit more. This will come out a little bit more because the boots are kind of square-ish. They do not hug the ankles. Okay. Something like that. So these are toes. They kind of curve out like this, and then I get something like this, and then there will be cat ears. I'm pretty sure that this is not completely anatomically correct, but it's okay. I think it looks fine, and I think that's what's important here. Yeah, she's doing a little sachet, I guess. You know what? I like it. I want to make sure that we get a nice shot of the what they look like from the front. I will be drawing them separately, you know, just out, where I draw it in the front and then on the side like this. But here, this lets me see the front here. Okay. Let's smooth this out. So all of this is actually covered by the dress. That is good to know. And actually, before I can draw this, I think I have to know where this leg is. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to lower the opacity on the shoe layer for now. And we will draw a leg. I will shade it later. This is perfectly fine for now. Okay. And now I can use that to make it so I don't have to draw the top part. Yes. Making my life easy. Until I get to the back view, where I probably will have to draw it. But you know what? That's a problem for future me. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. Then I just want to verify that I kind of have the cat ears in the right place here. So it's like this. Yeah, this seems okay. All of that is behind the foot there, and this will drop. So this will do something a little bit more like that. Wonderful. And I'll draw a couple little folds over here, because I think this is like roughly where the ankle is. And the rest of this is all just foot shenanigans. God, I hate drawing feet. Why do I keep drawing full body things? It's like I could totally get away with zooming in on the face if I wanted. And yet here I am continuing to draw full body figures. It's okay. I should learn how to draw feet at some point. I really should. I will study them properly someday. Okay. Now then. Back to what I was kind of doing on this foot. I want to start with kind of the egg-shaped thing. So, Let's see, that will... Where are my cat ears? Here. So we will have... I'm just going to do this very roughly to see if I have to care about them at all. Yeah, those will taper off into places I cannot see. Okay. Then the egg shape starts kind of a little bit further down. Something like this. It like barely goes on the toes. I know, right? You can just make stuff up if you just draw the upper part. But then once you draw the lower part, suddenly all the proportions matter. It's like, oh no, what have I done? Okay. So I think this should actually go a little bit further this way. Which means I had the center a little bit off, but I kind of expected that, if I'm being honest. Okay, there we go. Let's smooth that out a bit. I'm actually even gonna hide my center line there, since it's mostly inaccurate anyway. Okay, and I think that's roughly where this egg shape should go. Okay, and I think that's about correct. Now then, actually, one little thing here. I want to lift this up just a little bit so it looks like it's going onto the toe. Perfect. Now it looks like the bottom's going onto the toe. Speaking of the toe, let's get that into. So where's my center? Right over there. So that means I want the center paw-shaped thinger to go across like this. Then there will be one over here that goes across like this. And one over here that goes across like this. And they end in a circle bit. Which I am totally going to need to liquefy to get the perspective correct. Okay, let's get that perspective better. No, not perspective. Warp, just liquefy. Liquefy will save me once again. It is good at that. Liquefy saves me so hard. There we go, and I think that shows the structure of the toes really well, too. Okay. So that should be everything there. Okay, and we do see some of the lines at the top. Alright, and if I get rid of my hot pink, I think they're looking pretty okay. Which tells me that I can go refine this and make it pretty. I want to fix a couple of the small errors that I found. I don't think that this curls quite like that. I think it actually goes more like this. But other than that, yeah, that looks like a nice little step there. Definitely got the little sachet going. Okay, I think it suits the pose very well. Even if it wasn't entirely intentional. I'll take credit for it anyway. I was the one that capitalized on what my arms drew anyway, so here we are. Okay. I think this is a little bit big. I'm gonna cut into the back here, but that's okay. I will fix it after I get this shoe good. But I need to be able to see the structure of this in order to draw it correctly. Okay, and then I want a little bit for the heel back there, but I don't want it to be quite that, I don't know, prominent. We're just gonna let it go on back here. Okay. While I'm here, I will get rid of some of the excess here. Oh good, and it looks like the feet are even going to be separated, so they're not just going to be combining into one shape here. I think that's probably a good thing, actually. What I had before was fine, but I think this will actually be better. Okay. Straighten that out a little bit. Put the little folds that I wanted there. I want two just to make it clear that this is a fold and not an ankle, because I think it'd be a little bit confusing otherwise. And I'll even go as far as to... Let's see here. It would be something like this. Yes. I don't think I wanted to go that far out, but I wanted to draw its rough location, so that this way I knew where to put these little folds. Where to put these little shadows here. Honestly, I feel like half the battle is just figuring out where to put things. Okay, there we go. That has a fold carved out. That is good enough for me right now. I'm not really too fussed with the inside yet. I want to make sure that I have everything on the outside all nice and smooth before I get too far into the inside. And I want this to extend just a little bit past the heel. Straight across. Straight across. Okay. And then there's going to be some little divots here where these little paw marks are. Perfect. And I want something similar kind of going on over there. Let me see. Okay, no, I want to do it in a group of 3. So I'm going to put one in the middle. So I want to find the middle first. And then I can find the middle in the other 2. There we go. Okay, that seems pretty foot-like. I am satisfied. Perfect the shape of the toe here. It was pretty good, but as always, want to make it just a little bit better if I can. And then I want to get this shaped well, because this will actually affect where I put something on the outside of the shoe here. So this is going to be the highest point. After here, it goes a little bit lower. Okay. So I'm going to follow that curve out just a little bit. And there we go. Now it looks like this little, I guess, rubber sole-like thing, it'll be sticking out. And it will look like it's wrapping around her foot now. Cat ears look fine to me. This looks okay. Let's go perfect the toes over here. Just give her a nice little step. And it'll be flat at the bottom here. Once again, I'm going to extend the edge here just so I have an idea of how this should actually look. Gotta do whatever's necessary to actually let me understand what it is I'm trying to draw. It makes life so much easier. This is incidentally why photo reference saves lives, because it lets you understand what you're trying to draw. Okay, we see a little bit more of this side of the foot as opposed to this side. Just because of how it's turning. And actually, I think I want to adjust this just a little bit here. Just to let this curve around the foot a little bit more correctly. Okay. That seems pretty good. And this part can go further back there. And I think these are... Well, this part is roughly the same size as this part, but that's right, this front part is actually supposed to be much larger. Where is exactly the front of her toe here? Let's find it. It's like something going on like this. There we go. Yes, like I said, references save lives. It'll make your life so much easier if you actually know what it is you're trying to draw and what it looks like. Because otherwise they'll just be like, man, this looks wrong. Why? You don't actually know what it is you're trying to draw. Okay. Fortunately, it looks like I might have a slight tangent problem here. So I might want to sculpt some of this a little bit better here. No, okay. I'm barely okay. Alright. Okay, and because the toe is being bent here, I want some little folds here. Just because it is that kind of material, and I got the little folds around my ankle. That seems fine. Okay, how are we looking? Seems pretty good. Phew! Okay, well that went better than I was worried it might. Gotta stretch. Oh yeah. Gotta stretch those arms. Alrighty. So I think that's good, and before I do any further shading, I want to go ahead and smooth out the white parts now. Actually get those correct. Alrighty. So the first thing is I want to make sure that these lines are a consistent distance away from the edge here. Yes, it's a very big stretch. The best kind of stretch. The best kind. Okay, let's see here. I want to go up and over. Okay, that's a little bit more consistent there. Hello there, Shinora. No worries. As always, just show up when you can. It's always nice to have you here. Oh, congrats. Okay, this bottom line is in totally the wrong spot, so I'm just going to erase it and try again. Let's go ahead and get this going all the way across here. And there will be no back part here because the back is actually even lower, so we don't see it. Actually, this is wrong too. I gotta get that right. This goes a little bit lower, and then off to the side here. There we go. And then once I have this top one correct, I should be able to get the bottom one correct. So I'm being very particular about where I place it. Okay, there we go. Okay, and there we go. I think that is right. So now it should be much easier to get the bottom line, and I think pretty much everything about the bottom line is wrong, so I'm going to erase it and try again. There we go. Let's try that again. So I guess I'll just start it right there. I want it to be about the same width as the top line. And I will just carry this all the way around. There we go. Admittedly, I don't understand the hate toward moths either. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of moths, I just feel overwhelming indifference. But like when it comes to bugs, they're not even that annoying. They generally stay out of your way. They don't carry disease. They're just kind of there. Flies and whatnot are way worse. Okay, and there we go. So I think those lines are accurate now. This one I actually still think it looks pretty good. I just gotta clean it up a little. Because I did use the liquefy tool on it, which does blur the edges, and I can't have that. Oh yeah, mosquitoes are terrible. I'm glad we don't get mosquitoes where I live. The climate is too dry. Oh no. Which reminds me, the other day, my husband thought that he had a grasshopper on his lap, and turned out it was a wasp. So he kind of freaked out when he went to go swat it away. I don't blame him. Wasps are terrible. I only described them to my kids as the mean bees. To differentiate them from, you know, friendly little honeybees. Alright, let's get that last little bit smooth there. I'm probably being more particular about this than I need to, but I like being very particular about my patterns. I do think it helps, to a degree. Okay. Before I get the paw part, I'm gonna go ahead and get this little part on the front here. You know, at the angle that this is at, I should actually probably have a thing, like, right there. Little divot. There we go. I just realized that I forgot to draw that there. Okay. Let's go all the way across here. Okay. Now I can just get these little marks here. Get them nice and round so they wrap around the toe. Just like that. Yes, I think that is wrapping around the toe quite effectively. I am quite pleased. Now I just want this circle to be a little tiny bit larger, but I needed to make sure it stays in perspective, so that's making my life a little bit difficult here. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Now let's get this one to wrap around the toe just a little bit better here. And I don't really want this circle to be sitting on the side. I want it to be sitting on the top. So I might actually need to redraw a lot of this one. Yeah, I need to redraw a lot of this one. I hope I don't need to liquefy it. I think I do. Okay, liquefy, save me. Save me again. I'll just be careful not to touch anything else, I guess. I can use the selection to make my life easier. I'm not sure why I'm not, but here we are. Let's see. 'Cause yeah, I want to be particular about this. I want to make sure it looks like it's sitting on top of the foot and not going anywhere near the side of the foot. That kind of thing is actually pretty important here. It's like, this is a character design. It's important for anybody that looks at it to understand what is on front and what is on back, what is on the side and what is not, and where all of this exists in 3D space. Okay. And I think that is pretty good. Alright, there's one foot. I still need to get the yellow bit in there, but that's going to be easy, so I'm going to do that at the end. I'll just send this white part on back here. And actually, with the way I have this drawn, it's actually kind of like this. It kind of goes down right at the edge of this paw part. And actually, I think this should be shaped just a little bit differently. You need to be straighter. This one needs to be curved, but the other ones need to be just a little bit straighter, I think. Yes, that's much better. Oh, man. Yeah, I imagine it'd be rough if, you had large dogs living with you and was honestly not that big of a fan of dogs to begin with. That does sound like it'd be a little bit rough. Okay. So I think that's better. Let me round that off a little bit too square. Okay. Yes, now I feel like everything is a little bit more in the correct spot here. And it kind of follows the curve of this paw shape. Let's get that going down. Let's get this part going down. Okay. Perfect. Okay, I think that's mostly accurate. I guess I'll do the lines on top first, just because they're easy. Okay, so all of this is like super wrong. Okay. So I didn't see anything here, so I'm just gonna do the two lines right there and call it good. So I think that is sufficient on the line front. So now I just gotta smooth out these last couple of parts. I'm gonna hide a bit of the egg here, make the toe look a little bit more round. Okay, yep, that does look quite good. And I need these circles to come forward. Right now they're a little bit too shy here. They gotta be a little bit bigger. Oh yes, very round, very important. Everything must be round. Everything must be round. Okay. Just squishing everything into place here. Liquefy saves the day again. Saves me from having to really understand a lot of this perspective. I kind of understand it. Like, I'm not completely clueless, but man, doesn't make my life easier. And I can just kind of push things around until I'm satisfied. Just kind of paw at it. There we go. Okay, and now I should just be able to draw everything properly. Alright, let's smooth this out. These should be a little bit larger, of course. But they wrap around the toes just like this, and I am quite happy with that. Yes, I think that looks quite nice. Now, this one is, like, super thick. My pawing around in Liquefy definitely made him super duper thick. But these lines are pretty thin. They are pretty thin. So I gotta thin it out, and then get the shape of the circle right, because the circle got pretty small. There we go. Now it looks like they're all sitting on the toe quite nicely. And I just gotta smooth it. Just gotta smooth it. I probably could flatten that circle a little bit, but I think this looks okay, so I'm not gonna worry about it. We'll see if I change my mind in 5 minutes, but right now I think it's fine. Okay. Got those little lines in there, and there we go. I think they're all... I'm trying to compare the widths here, and I think it's good now. So I think that's fine. Yep, that looks fine to me. Most excellent. Alright. So I'm gonna go delete my center line layer. Let's go put in the yellow part. So I'm gonna steal my yellow color from over here. And I'm just gonna put it in on a new layer. Make my life easy. I'll merge them later. Okay. Now let's go do some shading. This one I have like half shaded. I needed to do a little bit just to kind of understand what the heck I was even trying to do. So this one's already pretty much done. It's more so the other one that needs it. Anyway, I want this white part to be kind of outset. So I'll put a little tiny shadow around it over here. Just a little tiny outset here. And here too. Because I don't want it to look like these are like painted onto the shoe. I want to look like it's sticking out just a little bit. And this guy's sticking out quite a lot. So he'll get a slightly bigger shadow. Okay. And I think that is sufficient. This guy is still gonna just be entirely in shadow. The only thing I want to define a little bit better is the toe. So that this way people can see where the top of the toe is. I don't know how to draw this without a little bit highlight on the top of the toe. There we go. Okay, and I think that's it. So let's go ahead and, you know, before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and get the shadow on the yellow part. There's not going to be much, but there's going to be a little bit, because I want this to be inset relative to that white part. So I want to make sure it looks like it's going in. And I think that's it there, and then of course this side is going to be entirely in shadow. Alrighty. And now I can do the white parts. So that'll just go like this, I guess. Anything else? Yeah. Just a tiny shadow around the side here. Just so it looks like it's sticking out a little bit. A little bit more three-dimensional. And here. Little line up top just to make it look a little thicker, and then of course, everything back here, 100% in shadow. Okay. Feet are done. Yay! Oh man, I'm always very afraid when it comes time to do feet. Okay, let's go. Let's see. Do I want to do the ribbon or the ponytail first? I'm gonna go do the ponytail first. I'm gonna go hide that layer, and I'm just gonna go do the ponytail first. The ribbony veil thing is all one layer anyway, so... Or not all one layer, what am I talking about? It's, transparent. So it doesn't matter which one I draw first. Oh right, actually I totally forgot something. Okay, one more thing I have to do before I can go do this. On the dress here, there's supposed to be pink at the bottom. I almost forgot. Okay, time to get that in there. So I'm just gonna steal the pink from her hair and the shadow color too. And I'm just gonna brush it all on. For a second, it's gonna look like I'm getting rid of all of my details here. Don't worry about it, it'll be fine. I know what I'm doing, I promise. Okay, I think, like, most of this is in shadow. I will lighten up the part that isn't, just right there. Do I have a third shadow color for it? I do. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm using the same colors. Yes. I have most of the social medias. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I cross-post pretty much everywhere. So, you can follow whichever one you like. Alright, now I'm gonna grab all the dark parts here. This is why I was still particular about it, even though I knew that I'd be doing something like this later. Okay. Ah, I see. Okay. So there's that. Actually, I want to grow the selection by one. There we go. Okay, and then I need the light pink color again. And now I'm gonna grab the light spots. Admittedly, I don't post very much on any social media, but I do at least make a point of posting all my art. All of my art will at least be posted. Okay, and now things are just a little bit choppy, but you know what? When I zoom out, I don't really even see it, so I'm not even gonna fix it. I think this is fine. There we go. Now things are properly pink at the bottom. It is wonderful. And I can go back to what I was doing. What was I doing? Right, the ponytail. Nice. I'll have to take a look. Okay. I see that I have some shenanigans here. I might need to hide some layers, but I think I can be lazy and not. So, like, the hair should be starting from, like, right about there. So I just kinda want it to gently flow down. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then things just get big here. Big and fluffy. I have been looking forward to messing around with this because, man, I just made this ponytail so stinking fluffy and I'm so excited to finally make it look nice. How fluffy it is! So fluffy! Just making sure that there are no, like, really hard edges here. I know, right? There we go. Okay. Time for the tip. Very important here. Gotta get this flow just right. There we go. Now I can kind of perfect the tip there. Just the very pointy part at the end. Where everything is going in the end. I want it to curl just a little bit more there, though. Just a little bit. Be nice and round. Nice and round. There we go. Just gotta get that cute little curl in there. Those cute little curls are just so important. Okay. Now I think it is curling cutely. Okay. Now I just want this part to kind of flow in here, but I want there to be a slight bump there. I remember that being a thing, so I want to keep it. And there we go. So I think that's the shape. I do not think I currently have you the right color, so I'll fix that. I think this is the old hair color, before I made it properly purple. Oh yeah, I was worried about the overlap there. I think it's fine, because I'm gonna get the even darker color now. And I can just do something like that. There we go. And then there's gonna be like a little shadow here, where it's twisting a little. Okay, now just to make this actually look like hair. As opposed to a big floof. Easier said than done, considering it is basically just a big floof. That's cute. Look, never underestimate the power of a cute little curl. It's powerful. Okay, let's make this look like hair now. So we're gonna have, like, strands going around like this. I don't know how I'm gonna make this look like hair. Man. What did I create here? Past me, always creating problems for future me, thinking, oh yeah, that's gonna look really cool. The worst part is that she was totally right. This does look really cool. But man, now I gotta make it make sense. I don't want to make it make sense. but I definitely have to an extent. It's gotta look like hair. If I want this to be a big ponytail, it's gotta look like hair. So let's see, this part is probably traveling somewhere like this. So I can make this a little bit more this shaped. And this is where I start mumbling to myself because I'm trying to make sense of everything I just did. Hey, something like that. That looks pretty okay. I think instead of there, I'm gonna put it here, though. So we got that there, and then we just got a part kind of being round and stuff there. Okay, that seems all right. Okay, I'll get another little strand going down there like that. Now what the heck do I do here? Because this doesn't flow that way. This flows this way. This flows this way, yes. And then it just bunches up right here for some reason. It's okay, it's anime, I can do what I want. I gotta tell myself this. Okay, and then the hair is gonna travel up this way. Just totally break flow, it's fine, don't worry about it. Okay. Look, she's magic, her hair is magic. It's fine. Stop questioning it, brain. It's fine. I think this would look better as one shadow shape, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, all going up there. Okay, it's starting to come together. I think it's making a little bit more sense now. So we got a shadow shape down there, and I'm gonna make this one shorter. And let it come on up. Okay. A little guy over here and a little guy over here. Just little guys. Brain keeps wanting to make them a little bit too big, but they need to be little guys. Okay. Shadow here now, and this guy, I want to change your shape a little bit. Okay, we're getting there. Getting somewhere here. I gotta be particular about this shape, though. Where it kind of overlaps. And then out here, I think this all looks okay. I think I'll just put this entire area right here in shadow. And we'll put a highlight here when the time comes. I guess the time is now. And then I think over here needs one too. I don't want it to be the same shape as the one right before it, so let me change it up a little. Nope, nope, not there, here. There we go. And I think that's all it needs. I'ma call it good. Yeah, I think that looks like twisting hair. I think it's fine. The bottom part's gonna be pink, though, so... Once again... You know what? I think I'm just gonna... now that I remembered to do it first, I think I'm just gonna put it on now. So that this way I don't have to pull any shenanigans. So I'll take the shadow color, and we'll get my airbrush. And let's see, about how far should the pink go? Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. You're not going to be pink. I think you look better as the solid color there, because Kyubey's tail does not have pink on it. I think having the pink just at the bottom of this hair and the bottom of this is fine. Maybe I'll put a little bit more pink at the ribbon. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Okay, I changed my mind. No pink. So, we render it now. I'm gonna put just a little bit up here, because otherwise it'll bother me. Otherwise, it will definitely bother me, so we'll just do a little bit there. And I'll put a shadow from the earring. Something like that. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and render this out. Make everything nice and smooth. I am too zoomed in. There we go. Then after this, I only have one more thing on the front side to draw. So I think I'll be able to start kind of grouping my layers and stuff for the backside today. I will explain what I do when it is time to draw the backside, and I see that I missed a spot when I was shading some stuff further up here, so I better go find it. That's you. Not that color, this one. There we go. Okay. Before, they were too close in value for me to really notice, but now that they're different, I noticed right away. That's okay, easy fix. Easy fix. Alrighty. I'll probably just add a few hair-like things coming off the shadow too. Just because it makes me feel good about myself. I don't even care if it makes sense. I just like doing it. I just think it makes things look slightly more hair-like. Okay. And most of this is actually already pretty smooth, so that's nice. I was able to draw it correctly the first time for once. So I'll just go through, work out any blobs that exist, because there's a few. And this one's not tapering nicely, for example. Gotta get it to a nice, consistent point. Nice and consistent. And I'm trying to keep all those nice curls that I put in. As I thought they looked pretty nice. That's why I described them as nice curls, not terrible curls. And I don't think I'll put any loose strands or anything here. This is just a character design, not an illustration. So I'm just gonna keep it all one big shape like this. Strands are just a little bit unwieldy. And they are so not the point when designing something like this. It'll save me some trouble when I go to work on the backside. Okay. Round all this out. It is. It's all I really care about here. The only reason I'm even decorating the sheet at all is because, well, you know, I'm planning on posting it out on the internet, and I would like people to actually stop and look at it. So I have to do things that'll make people stop and look at it. Otherwise I'd be like, yeah, well, we can totally just be sitting around in the world of gray background here. It's fine. Okay. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. I actually want this part to be just a little bit, the shadow there to be just a little bit thinner. Just a little bit. Now then. What do I do here? This part needs to be much thinner, but the idea is okay, so I still kind of keep that general shape, and then I come up here and I guess I just smooth this. I think it looks fine. It just needs to be a little bit smoother. Once again, I'm just always like, man, why did I draw so much hair? Why do anime girls like need 50 pounds of hair to look nice? Need to draw a freaking mountain of it before everything looks really, really nice. And honestly, as hair that I've drawn has gone, this character doesn't even have that much, but it still feels like a lot. There we go. I didn't quite like where that shadow was, so I moved it. Sometimes art is like that. Okay. Let's make you go just a little bit higher. But I'll make you thin at the top. I'll make you thin at the top. And I'm gonna do those highlights after I finish all the shadows here. Just because where I put the shadows tends to affect exactly where I put the highlights, so I always like to do the shadows first. Okay, and I think that's all the shadows smoothed, so let's go do these lights now. Refine those lovely little N shapes. N is for hair, I guess. Never mind that there's no N in hair, but there is now. It's just silent. Alrighty. I tend to change up the shape just a little bit when I go in and really perfect all my highlight shapes. Because I like it to follow the shadows, and I always put my kind of template to follow in before I do the shadows, so... Yeah, I know, right? But honestly, even the characters that have fairly simple hair still have, like, a ton of it. I'm trying to think of a good example of someone that doesn't necessarily have a complex hair silhouette, but still has like 50 pounds of hair. Let's go with something like Narissa Ravencroft. Go with another VTuber. Because, yeah, her hair is very, very straightforward, but she still has like 50 pounds of hair. Yeah, Miku's another good example. Very simple, but you're gonna spend an eternity shading that if you draw all the hair. And it even works with, like, shorter styles. What's someone with short hair that has tons of hair? Mine is drawn a blank here. But I know what I'm talking about. I don't know, I've been rereading Black Lagoon lately, and I still feel like if I were to ever draw a fan art of Rebby or something, I would still give her 50 pounds of hair. Even though it doesn't look like she has that much. But she is just anime, and therefore there's tons of hair involved. Just make it flow everywhere. Okay, this one just has to be redrawn completely. That is pretty normal when it comes to highlights. Yes. Well, but Goku's not an anime girl, so I didn't want to use him. And also his hair is far from being like realistic or remotely sensible. A little guy there. Just a little guy. Okay, there we go. That's some hair. Let's go ahead and turn that last bit back on, because this is the last thing, man. Oh, man. Okay, so what do I got here? I never quite liked the shape here, so I should start with that, I guess. Humu. Okay. We're gonna make it fly out like these ears here. Oops. Wrong layer. We're gonna make it fly out like the ears. And then I'll refine the shape to look a little bit better. Okay, and you need to be flipped horizontally. There we go. You need to, like, fan out that way. I guess I can do it whatever way I want, but when I think of it this way. Okay, and now we're gonna liquefy the shape here. Okay. You're rotated a little bit too heavily. I just need to fan out the tips here. Oh, I don't have my transform tool open. That's why I can't do it. Okay. I don't want it to flip out too far, though. And I just don't want it to merge with her arm is the main thing. Okay, that should be fine. And once again, I'm gonna flip this horizontal. Okay, need my transform tool first. There we go. Mirror horizontal. Gonna let it fly out a little bit better here. And once again, I just don't want it to merge with her arm here. So I'm gonna flip it out. Flip this part up a little bit, just trying to mirror that a little bit. And I'm still not happy with that side, but I think that's as far as I want to go without just drawing it. Okay, I'm gonna hide the decor, and we are just gonna focus on the shapes here. We're just gonna focus on these little shapes here. It's flipping out a little bit too hard. I still want it to flip a little bit more than that, though. I gotta find the right amount of flippiness. Very important. They're also a little bit long. There we go. That's about what I want. Proper flippiness. Extremely important. So I'm gonna draw it without the little, I don't know, fingers right now. I just want to get that shape down, because I'm still not happy with it. Alright. Well, thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a lovely day. Okay, and we flip, roll down, and flip. Gotta make it super flippy. I actually kind of liked it better when it was going the other way now. Okay, I need to mess around with the design a little bit, I guess. What's your opacity? Like 50%? Yeah. So do I like it better? Okay, so assuming it's connected to the ribbon, it probably does something like this. Do I like you better flipping out this way? Or do I like you better... I'm just gonna clear this. Connects about here, flipping out this way. Assuming my pen cooperates with me. And I can get a good location. There we go. That's about what I wanted. Do I like you flip it out this way? Yeah, I gotta say, this way is just better. So... even this, I think, is a little bit too exaggerated, but this way really is just better. Okay, so I had it right the first time. That's fine. I didn't trust my past self enough. It happens sometimes. And I want it to be about... probably bust length. So I'll get the shape out there. I want this one to come in just a little bit too. And you should be about here, I'd say. Okay, how is this? Actually, I want to get the finger shapes in before I go ahead and check the silhouette. So I'm just going to cut into this here. Just gonna cut into all of that. This one I think needs to be a tiny bit longer, so I'll start the finger out. About how long are they? Not especially, so this is actually probably even a little bit too long. Let's go ahead and fill that in. Definitely too thick. Definitely a little bit too thick. And here, this one needs to be a little bit thinner. So something like that. Okay. How is the silhouette here? Yeah, I think it works. You can kind of see the little ear shape coming out there. All right. Let's clean this up then. So this one is going to have pink at the ends. So I will put my shadows in. This one's not going to have very many shadows. It's just a soft, kind of translucent cloth. I was actually considering making this red at some point. At one point. But I didn't think it looked good red. It's still going to have some red. It's going to have the red dots. But that, I think, is sufficient red. Alright, let's get this nice and smooth. As always, definitely got to make things nice and smooth. My brain demands it. This is a case where, you know, if I was maybe trying to make a design for someone and I was working closely with them, I wouldn't bother getting things this smooth, but I am not. I am just making a fun character design for fun. So I am treating it somewhere between an actual character design and an illustration. It's somewhere between those. Okay, so we got 2 of the fingers, and I think the 3rd one will show itself a little bit here. Just kind of back there. Actually, you're not shaped like that, are you? Yeah, you're a little bit higher on the 3rd finger here. Yeah, so I can just put you up there. That's fine. That works fine. So we'll go with this. We'll just go with this. Okay. Man, I just don't like the way it looks, though. Okay, so I think what I gotta do, I'm gonna go ahead and just redraw all that, because I don't like it. Let's let the ends kind of go off like this. So even though it's kind of curving this way, we'll let the ends taper off like this. Yeah, I think that should look good. And then I draw all 3 of the little fingers here. This one goes a little further up. How's that? I think that's a little better. Okay. Like, sometimes I do get in the thick of drawing something, and the more I work on it, the more I realize, man, I just don't like this. And that's when it's time to change things up. But I think this should look okay. So let's see. Let's see if I change my mind as I start making it nice and smooth as well. Let's see if I change my mind. But no, I think this is looking up pretty good, so I think I should be good. Huzzah. Okay. This is just standard edge cleaning here. I'm trying to make the points where they all connect a little bit round. Just because everything should be a little bit round. Kyubey is like 90% marshmallow, so I do want everything to be kind of round and fluffy. Okay. Do I have it a good length? It's like, I think my thing is a little bit long compared to the ears here. But I think it looks better that way. Like, I just want it to go past the shoulders. So, I'm gonna keep it like this. Which does mean that this side is a little bit too long. We'll send it up here. So probably something like that. This side should be a little bit longer than the other side because her head is tilted this way. So, actually it should go a little bit further down. And then I still am gonna let the tips curl out like this, so I do have to redraw that end there. But that is okay. And this one will too. Kinda out like that. There we go. And those are the only fingers we see on this side. I'm gonna give it just a little bit more thickness, just so it doesn't completely overlap with the sleeve there. And we can see a little bit more clearly which piece belongs to which part. And there's not just this weird tangent where it's unclear if the veil bit is in front of the sleeve or not. Clarity is extremely important in these. So So I do try to get it right. And yeah, the outside one should be the longest. And in this case, when I say outside, I mean the part facing away from her body. Okay. So now I should be able to clean those up and they should look pretty good. I believe. Just gotta actually make them look nice. Get that roundness back. Get the roundness up here back. Do all those kinds of things. My pattern is gonna be utterly destroyed, so I'm probably just gonna delete it and draw it again. I remember what it's supposed to look like. It's easy because it is literally just what exists on Kyubey. I just lifted it basically wholesale, so. So it's nice and easy. I think the perspective here is looking pretty good. Got a little bit of pixel dirt right here, I see, but there we go. I think that's fine. I think it's all good. I'm gonna go ahead and make this side a little bit smoother. I changed my mind. You know, as I do. But I just don't quite like this little lump here. So I'm gonna make it a little bit straighter. Yeah. There we go, that's better. That is better. Okay. I'm gonna hide the ponytail for a second just to make sure that I actually get this smooth. Very important with the kind of semi-transparent things. That can be a little bit hard to see them. So I have to do a little bit of extra due diligence to make sure that I am seeing them correctly. And I want to make sure that this piece is actually, like, connected. And not just floating there out in space. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think it looks pretty good. Maybe I still have a little blobbiness to work out right there. Why do I keep wanting to zoom to the 133%? Everything looks bad at 133%. At least to my eyes. So I always make a point not to zoom in there. I always wonder how many other people have this problem where for some reason at 133% and 266% everything just looks terrible. No matter how hard I work it, it just looks bad. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Alrighty. What did you look like again? I just had like some yellow lines and then the dots. Okay, I think I'm gonna ditch the yellow lines and just go with the ring. Let's get those dots in there. I'm gonna use the dark color. Actually, I should use the dark color for you too, because you are in the back. Okay. So we'll use the dark color here, and if I just look at the ears, it's like right at the tip of the fingers. So it'll be like here. I should just use a perfect circle instead of messing around with it. Here. And then we don't see the other one, and over here it's gonna be like here. Here. Okay. And then I had like a golden rings kind of going around it. I don't know. Do I want full on? golden rings here. Let me see what it looks like. So we have this. Actually, we would kind of see through it. You know what? No. I changed my mind. I'm gonna go and put the gold part back on this again. Not that thickly, though. Like this. Gotta get that angle right. There we go. And then instead, I will just do that thing I was planning with, like, the lace here, where it just kind of goes all the way down. And I think that will be enough texture. So just being pretty careful about it. Gonna go down each finger before I connect them, I think. I want to be pretty try to keep the distance from the edge pretty consistent. Always easier said than done, but I'm doing my best. Okay, now I can connect up here. Yeah, I don't have it drawn quite right there, so let's get in there. Get in there and really make sure that distance is correct. Very important. Very, very important. Okay. That's looking a little better. I really don't have this at a super consistent thickness, though, so I'm gonna go ahead and try again. You know, maybe I should use a brush that doesn't have size jitter on. There we are. Basic, hard round, nothing on it. Let's go. So now I just make the size of it the size that I want this to be. I'm at 266%, so everything's going to look bad, but that's okay. And then I just gently pull it down. It's probably fine if it's a little bit off. But I don't want it to be that off. Having to think very carefully while I draw the line all the way down here. Lines are hard. I still never understand how the "I can't even draw a straight line" is like the go-to phrase for people trying to say that they can't draw. It's like, you and me both, buddy. Straight lines are hard, man. They are so hard. It's like, geez, if people are using something that is, like, legitimately difficult as a sign that they just can't draw and will never be able to, like, what are we doing? Why did I change the size of this brush? Whoops. Should not have done that. Okay, here we go. It's like, if that's what they're doing to convince themselves that they're bad at something, it's kind of a shame, in my opinion. God, I am so far off here. Try to get some of this a little bit better. It's like, if the first thing you're trying to learn is just, like, one of the things that is legitimately hard, then Is it any wonder that that those people think that they're bad? Art is hard, man. I think people give up too easily sometimes. Okay. I think that's good. Time to do the second one. I say nervously. Well, I'm just like, oh god, I have to draw more straight lines. Here we go. Gotta do my best. Focusing like you wouldn't believe while I try to get this going down here. Oh god. It is not consistent at all. I think I'm gonna have to change some of the dots too, because I'm not sure if I want them running through this lacy part. I don't think that looks very good. And then I realize I still have to do the other side, and I'm just, like, dying on the inside. It's okay. Like I've said many a time, sometimes you have to suffer for your art. It's fine. I got this. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side before I worry about correcting anything. Because I just want to get this done. Why did I use lines? It's fine. It looks good. I know exactly why I did it. It looks good. Why does it have to look good? Why do all the hard things have to look so good? God, it feels weird to be drawing without pen pressure. It's like, I know it's helpful, but it feels so strange. Okay, the yellow part I think I'm gonna keep going all the way through. I think it's just the red part that I want to change up a little. So I guess I won't just casually delete everything on that layer. Okay. And around. One more! Just one more line. I am dying slightly, but I'll be okay. I just know that this will be the last thing I work on today, and so I'm just reminding myself, it's okay. Once you get this, you'll be done for now. Then you just gotta make some things pink and it'll be fine. Making things pink is easy. Okay, there we go. I think that's okay. Perhaps a little messy, but I think it's okay. Alright, I'm taking my pen pressure back. Okay, now let's actually figure out how I want to handle these red spots. Gonna go above each finger. Use the brush and not the eraser. Very important. I think I'll do this one first. So kind of above it, like right there. This one will be slightly smaller, probably like right here. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I think that's pretty cute. Let's go ahead and make it pink now. And then I could conceivably put some decorations back there, but I don't think I want to. I think I want to keep it simple. Pink is sufficient. Let's get my airbrush. Actually, no, I want the shadow pink, that's right. Get the shadow purple. I kind of want to take it back just a little bit, kind of line it up with that gold spot, and there we go. There we go. Is there anything else I want to put on things? Right now I'm just kind of worried that the boots are a little bit empty. You know what? There is one thing I want to do with them, I think. Let's go back to her shoe layer. And I think all I want to do is I want to connect these two spots right here. I have them a little bit off, so I'm making life hard for me, but that's okay. I just want a little line right there. Yeah, and I guess I probably see that part, don't I? I'm not really worried about making the part above it ugly. But yeah, I do think I see that, so... let's get it in a better spot. Okay. So let's see, this line is gonna connect, like... At the angle it's going, it's gonna be something like... Like this. So that's probably gonna be roughly where the center line is. And it's fine. Like, all of this is inaccurate here, so... I'll just draw it like that. Okay, and then in that case, we see a little bit of the other side too. Okay. I have the line a little bit too thick, so I'm gonna redraw it. Okay. So this is just an estimate because I'm not really drawing the top part. I should. I absolutely should. If I wanted to get this accurate, but I think this is fine. Okay. There we go. Do I want anything more? You're just feeling a little lonely is the thing. Like, I got something going back there, but I think that's fine. I don't really want to make what I have back here any more complicated, so I don't want anything that wraps around. I don't know, should I just put some lines around, the egg bit? Oh boy, just what I need, more lines! Let's go! You know what, let's do it. If I get a good idea, you know, I gotta roll with it. Even if it's hard. We'll see if it's a good idea or not. It's a good idea. I just gotta draw it better. So here we go, line time. I'm gonna start with this side. This side will be a little bit easier. That's way too thin. I want it to be about the same thickness as this. Maybe I should get my non-pen pressure brush. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I'll make it about the same size as these. That looks good. And we'll just go through. The trouble is here. I don't really want it to come into contact with the paw parts. And if I do two lines, it pretty much almost certainly will. Okay, let's try again. I might just move them down a little bit then. Yeah, so I have to. Let's see if I can get those alone. I'll just move it down just a little bit here. And I'll have to do the same with this one. Just a little bit. And I will adjust the shading afterward. That's good enough. Okay, let's get it on this one. This one I don't have to worry about it quite as much, since all of the stuff on the toe is kind of hidden there. I can just kind of cut it off. It's fine. I'll just carefully go all the way around. Very, very carefully. Okay. How are we looking? Pretty good, and I do think that looks a lot better. In fact, I want a couple more lines. I want one going across here. I know I just said I didn't want anything going all the way across, but I changed my mind. As I do. Never free from lines. It's okay. They look good. Gotta go very carefully. Alright. This one I should use the shadow. And I will have to draw the shadow on the other shoe there. Since it did partially go into the shadows. Okay. Do they look less lonely now? They do look less lonely now. Okay, I'm satisfied. Let's go ahead and shade this. And I can free myself. I can free myself from lines for a little while until we do the back view. In which case, they'll be back with a vengeance. Alright. And you know what? I want them to be shiny. I want the boots to be shiny. Too shiny. Alas. Soft light, not shiny enough, but screen is too shiny. That's a good color. So I would just put a little shiny part on the toe here. It's just gonna go something like that. The other side doesn't need the shiny because it's in the back. Actually, I hate it. I do want it to be shiny, that part is true, but I hate this. Okay. That looks a little better. And now I can add just a little bit of light out on the side here. Okay. Maybe just kind of on the top. Oh, and I realized I'd never shaded her leg. I should do that. I said I was going to do that later, and later never came. That does happen sometimes. See, I can't trust that color there. Let me turn off her blush for a second. There we go. Okay, and now let's go shade that leg. It's easy because all I really have to do is this. Yay. Yay. Okay. One more. Yay. See? Nice and easy, and it looks so much better. It's amazing how that little difference can just make everything make much more sense. No wonder her feet were looking a little lonely. I didn't have the leg shaded. Okay, and I think that's it. I think that is front view. So next time, we'll do the back view. I kinda got it started because I just wanted to do some quick concepts to make sure that I liked her shoes, the back of her shoes, and the back of her jacket here. But, you know, everything else... You can see that I changed the bottom of her dress since I drew this. This is just going to be a quick reference thing. I'm going to push it off to the side and forget it exists. And all I'm really going to do... Oh yeah, I need to turn her ponytail back on. No wonder she looks a little bit lonely. Anyway, so all I really plan on doing is duplicating this and then modifying it. So we'll have a full duplication there, and I will just edit the parts that are different in the back and go from there. remove a bunch of layers, and it'll be a fun time. So that will be next time, what's next time, Sunday? Yes, I believe next time is Sunday. So, that'll be quite fun. I am looking forward to it. But this is where I will stop for today. So, thank you all for coming. And I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow.